Hello YouTubers and welcome to another episode of The Golf Nerd. I've been on a journey to find the best hitting mat. I've searched numerous message boards, home simulator websites, and watched countless YouTube videos, all in an effort to find that perfect product. I've recently reviewed some of the more popular options, including the Monster Mat and Fiberbuilt Grass series. I wanted to find a mat that checked all the boxes. It needed to feel like a real fairway. The ball needed to behave as it would off of grass. I wanted something with excellent feel but easy on the body. I didn't want prolonged practice to result in me wearing one of these. I needed something durable but not overly expensive. Well, as I scoured the internet for the perfect product, I kept coming across a product I hadn't heard of before. I'm betting you haven't either. Golfers who were using it were very enthusiastic, so I did what anybody would do, and I Googled it. The product is made by Synthetic Turf International. It has some pretty impressive customers. The product is used in every TrackMan studio in the United States. It's used by every PXG fitting studio as well. Then I found out that Ian Fraser, CEO of TXG in Canada, also selected this product for use in all of his Canadian studios. To say the least, I was intrigued. I contacted the US distributor, SimTurf. I'll put their link in the description. I spoke to their head of marketing, Chris Duff. He oversees every incoming order and verified that they do provide the turf for every TrackMan studio and PXG studio. He went on to tell me that they have also supplied the turf for several PGA Touring pros' home practice facilities. Well, I was convinced it was worth checking out. I ordered a 4x6 mat for use in the basement lab. I'll be sharing my initial impressions in this video. This won't be a review, as I think you have to have a product for a couple weeks before you can have an educated opinion. But I will be posting a review several weeks from now. So what is the product? It's the EasyT Hybrid hitting mat. So stick around while I unpack this, secure it to the floor, and take some shots. I'll share with you my initial impressions as we go. So I'm really excited to share this with everybody today. In preparation for this unveiling of the product, I've set up a few things to get ready. I've got a tape measure on the putting mat there, and that is measuring 8 feet from the Mevo Plus that I use as a launch monitor. And this will tell me how far I need to set the hitting mat so that it is in the correct location for my launch monitor. While I was talking with Chris Duff, he also mentioned that they have a lot of other products that they sell specifically for use with home simulators. They offer custom installations, and it's all the Synthetic Turf International brand. But they have putting surfaces, they have material that serves as rough. They also have a bunker material that they can use as well. And the one thing I think a lot of folks that have home simulators are going to be most interested in, they also offer replacement hitting strips of this same material. So if you have a setup that uses a replaceable hitting strip, you can order just the size material that you need. So what I'm going to do is I use 3M Dual Lock Velcro to attach the material to the floor. And just need to tack down this final corner. And that's it. Well, the installation's complete. I did have to put some heavy weights on this side just to take the curl out of the material from being packed up and wrapped up in a roll like that. I took the leftover monster mat, cut it up, and now it's going to be catching shots so they're not bouncing all over. The one thing I noticed right away was the difference in feel of these two surfaces. The monster mat is real spongy and you sink into it. The EZT hybrid is really firm and it feels much more like ground. It just feels much more dense. I don't get the impression that it's going to break down and get softer like the monster mat does. So I've got a microphone set up. I'm going to hit some shots and I'll give you some more feedback about how it feels with a club. So I'm going to take a series of shots. I'm going to start with a pitching wedge. I'm going to do a few 7-irons and then I'm going to hit a few hybrids. Again, I just can't get over how much better the turf feels than the monster mat. It's just really does feel a lot more like ground. I hit that one heavy. It was not particularly jarring. That was a clean strike. Felt fine. Feels good with a wedge. No issues at all. Now, if they could only make a mat that didn't crunch every time you stepped, that'd be awesome. What's interesting, before I started filming these shots, I just came over here and took a swing. And this monster mat surface really grabs your club. This EZT hybrid, it just glides through it. It's really interesting. A terrific strike, but that's certainly not the mat's fault. Yeah, I have to say, first impressions are very positive. I really like it. It's called the EZT Hybrid because it takes a T. And there's no trouble with that. You can use whatever T you like. That grabs right away. And like I showed in the monster mat video, again, it's the difference in density of the material. This material is so much more like ground. It's kind of remarkable. So that's my first impressions of the EZT hybrid hitting mat. I gotta say, for first impressions, they're pretty positive. It certainly performed as well as other folks had mentioned that it did. And it certainly feels more like turf. It takes a T like turf. You can tell when you hit something heavy, but it doesn't grab the club. I'll have to see how it fares on my body because I know I'm particularly sensitive to tendonitis. And we'll have to see after hours of practice whether or not that's going to be a problem. And I'll include those details and more in the final review here in several weeks. So until then, hit them long and straight, and I'll see you next time.